One of the biggest fears that people have when they decide to pick a country and move abroad is what if I choose the wrong country? Because choosing a country is much like choosing a house. It's a permanent decision and it's for life. So you have to be careful how you choose the country that you decide to move to, whether temporarily or full time. What if you get there after you've decided on a country? You've sold everything, you've spent all that money, you've told people that you're leaving. You get there and then only to realize that this country that you chose is not really the country for you. It can happen. And honestly, the fear of that happening makes a lot of sense because choosing a country is not a small decision. And that's because you're not just picking a destination, you're picking a place where your nervous system has to live, where your money has to stretch, where the visa process has to make sense for you, and where you have to live and work every day. So, in this video, we're going to talk about how to choose a country without overthinking it or romanticizing it, and how to pick one without only looking at the cost of living. So we start overthinking it because there's so much information going around. There's so much to think about. One person says Portugal is a dream, and then someone else may say Portugal is over. Someone may say move to Mexico is perfect. Someone else may say Mexico is not perfect. Then you see videos and you see people talking about Thailand, how it's so cheap. You may also see videos about where I am here in Albania. Then you see videos about Spain, Italy, Panama, Costa Rica, and the list goes on and on. And suddenly you're collecting a bunch of opinions, and opinions are helpful, but sometimes collecting too many opinions about different things can make you feel more confused than when you first started. Because what may have worked for one person may not work for you. You may have a different personality than them. You may have different health concerns. You may have different family obligations if you're moving with children. If you are bringing an elderly parent to live overseas with you, you may have a different job, different lifestyle goals. So, all those things need to be factored in when you're choosing a country. And this is why the question cannot only be, where is everyone moving to? It has to be, where do I want to, and where can I build the kind of life that I want to live? That's what you need to be asking yourself. Where do I want to move to where I can build a life that I want to live? And this might sound backwards because I don't think you should start with the country. You should start first with yourself. Let that be the center and the reason why you pick a specific country to move to. Because here's the thing, if you don't know what you need, every country on the map will start to feel like an option, and then you begin to overthink it. So before you move to Portugal, Albania, or Mexico, ask yourself, what do I want my daily life to look like? And from there, then you pick the country that you want. Also ask yourself, what pace of life do I need? What kind of environment keeps me calm? And how much stimulation can I handle? For me personally, I know I didn't want a lot of stimulation. So I had to ask myself, do I want a big city? Do I want a small town? Do I want the beaches, the mountains, walkability? Do I want quiet? So I started asking myself those things and then picked the country that I wanted. Because sometimes a country that may look exciting online may not be the country that fits your nervous system and what you're trying to achieve when you move abroad. And people need different things. Some people want space, some people want quiet, some people want walkability, some people want convenience, they want access to other expats, local immersion. Those are all things that matter. Now, money absolutely matters, and I would never tell someone to ignore the numbers because you need to also understand the cost of daily life, healthcare, food, dining out, internet, phone service. All those things absolutely matter. A country can be affordable and still not be the right fit because maybe the visa path is complicated, or maybe the healthcare system doesn't fit your needs. Sometimes the infrastructure can be frustrating. The pace of life might be too slow for you, or maybe the culture feels like it's just hard and you can't seem to adjust. I'm saying, yes, look at the cost, but don't let cost be the only factor that determines what country you choose. Also, look at the type of life you're trying to build and what else you want out of your life when you're living in that new country. The goal is not to find the cheapest place, but the goal is to find a place where your life can actually work and have meaning. Another thing that people do is sometimes they fall in love with a country first before they fully understand if they can stay there legally and what the immigration laws are like. And this is where dreaming and planning are two separate things because liking a country and being able to stay there legally are two separate things. You should understand what your options are before building your whole life around something that may never happen. You need to first ask yourself some basic questions, such as, is there a residency option? How long can I stay as a tourist? And is there a digital nomad visa? Other questions to ask are, will I need proof of income? Will I need health insurance? How to go about renewing the visa when it expires? Can I bring pets? Would I be able to work remotely from there legally? Now, these aren't always the fun questions to ask, but they are questions that will protect you because sometimes the country you're choosing isn't wrong. It's wrong because the legal path to getting there doesn't fit the life that you want. Then there's a lifestyle fit. This is the part that people underestimate. Can I wake up and see myself there on a normal Monday or a Tuesday, living day to day life, no longer on vacation, living real life? And this is a real test. A country can feel beautiful, but still not be easy for daily life. So when you're choosing, ask yourself, can I function here? Can I build routine? Can I feel safe here? And I also think it's important to pay attention to how a place makes you feel. Does it offer less tension, less stimulation, more calm? Does it offer a more sense of urgency? Because you don't want to move somewhere and then still be in survival mode all the time. Sometimes we're moving not just for the cost of living, but we're moving because we were living in survival mode all the time and we want to give our nervous system a break. So the country you choose needs to support the kind of peace that you're trying to create, not just the budget or the visa or the Instagram version. So research helps, the videos help, posting questions in the Facebook group page will help. And no amount of research can prepare you for actually living there and experiencing life for yourself in this new country. That doesn't mean that you failed. It just means that relocation is real life. And sometimes you can choose a country not as your first step, not as your forever place, but your bridge country. Because sometimes you can get there and realize that the country you chose is not the right fit for you. It doesn't mean you failed. It just means you need to pick a different country. And this is why I always come back to having a real process because picking a country is not only about where should I go. It's also about comparing the pieces side by side, the visa, the cost of living, the healthcare, transportation, walkability, the cost for daily expenses. All these things need to line up along with the country that you choose. And people sometimes get stuck because they're trying to make a huge life decision with scattered information, bits and pieces of information that they need to organize so it can make sense. And that's where the cost of living calculator and the She Moves Abroad toolkit comes in. And if you're still in that early stage of deciding where to go or picking a country and deciding if you even want to leave the United States, start by downloading the free Move Abroad checklist. If you're thinking about leaving the US, the checklist will help you organize your thoughts and decide if moving abroad is right for you and what country you should pick. The checklist will help you organize your thoughts before you choose a country or make a major life decision. And if you're thinking about moving abroad or researching your next steps or actively planning your move abroad, I also offer free 15-minute clarity sessions to help you talk through and think through your decision. If you're afraid of choosing the wrong country, please know this. The fear of choosing the wrong country shouldn't make you stop. What it means is you need a better process to choose that country. Don't choose a country based on fear, fantasy, or what's trending online, but choose a country based on the kind of life that you're trying to build for yourself. Because sometimes the right country isn't the one that everyone's talking about. It might be the country that can give you room to breathe and give you a bridge option while you aim for the country that you really want to get to.